Recording is on.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I'm your host Ray. With me as always, we have Father,
Halloween dying, bruh.
especially Virginia. um, we have Shining Wolf,
Shine on. Happy Halloween.
and anybody else join, they'll join. First things first, before we get into anything, Father, why is your state the way it is, especially with trick or treating?
That's a good question. And a question I don't even know or understand, but all I know is that that's just how it is, I guess. I guess we just lost I guess we just lost the spirit. It's just gone. I don't know what happened to it, but it's just gone.
I think I don't know. I would blame the internet like every other boomer, but I don't want to blame the internet on this. It's
You know
just
what I
fucking
feel like?
weird.
It's like the Avatar. Like at first he was there, then he's gone. It's like where the fuck did he go? Nobody knows. All we know is that he's gone.
All right. On the first topic, I wanted to talk about this last week, but everybody was like, just hold it on to this week. Y'all heard about Tank's comments about if someone done suck two dicks, he's not considered gay?
Yep.
And be like,
What?
oh, you haven't heard about that? Oh,
Nah,
so
I haven't.
Tank was on this show called Lip Service with this a podcast by Angela Yee, and he was on there talking to like four girls, and he was like, wait a minute, if a man done sucked a dick once and he didn't like it, he's not gay, and if he just sucked the dick twice to make sure he didn't like it, it still doesn't make him considered gay. I'm paraphrasing, but it was along those lines. So, so
I guess that was some gay shit he did though.
yeah, I get. Does anyone want to start on that? Because I kind of find this situation funny.
I guess it's technically not his thing. Then I guess if you don't like it, I
Well,
guess.
he never said he did it per se, not him personally, but it was like if
Well,
it
not
was a
him, but
hypothetical question.
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking about the hypothetical.
Uh,
I guess if it wasn't his thing, he was just an excuse me. If he's an experimental type of dude, I guess. I guess so.
I guess okay. I guess it reminds me of the whole double standards thing because you know how people like we basically in a society we have a bunch of double standards. Some people follow, some people don't. Some people live by it. Some people are okay with some double standards, while there are a lot of double standards we are not okay with. And I think the one double standard that I hear the most is if a woman she can have sex with as many women as she want, but you know she can never consider herself as gay. While if a man he like has sex with one dude, he was considered gay. So like you could so a lot of dudes they have that type of mentality. It's like um if you especially for experimenting because with some dudes in my opinion I don't have to try it to know I don't like it. Like there's a lot of things I can just look at and go, nah, I'm not with that or I'm not for that. And so when people hear that he's like I don't want to say recommending but he's like going with the dude sucking dick and all the other stuff, like doing it more than once. It's like you might have liked it the first time. Some people like there's some dudes that's like think it's gay, and a lot of people think it's not gay. But it also reminds me of the people that used to be gay and now are reformed. Like, do you still call them niggas gay? Like Antoine Dodson. Like the first time you seen Antoine Dodson, he's like the whole hide your kids, hide your wives, and all that other stuff. And now if you see him, um, he's very religious. I forgot what he like. what his religion was. But he's very religious now. He has a wife. He has a kid. He no longer consider himself gay. Now, some people will still call him gay, but there are a lot of people like he's not gay no more. He got kids. He's trying to change his life around. So I think is with that it's a very really wishy washy stance, but it's all based on what you stand on that double standard. Personally,
I say, as far as that whole women example, like if a woman continuously has sex with women or has sex with several women, she's definitely gay. She's
so
definitely
you
she's definitely
don't believe that.
bi. Yeah, if you
It's
play
like
with
Mark
if
said,
you play
all
with
girls are
kitty
at
cat,
least 10% gay. That's
hmm most of them are. Yeah,
True. I don't know. I give some people. I don't know. I always give people the benefit of the doubt because, like, if this was me 10 years ago, I'd have been calling them all types of gay names. Well, not the FAGGOT word. Trying not. To, I don't ever really call people that. But I probably like clown them for that. But like me now, like I had to like really think about it because I know a lot of people that like I know, like for me, I know personally a couple of people that used to be gay and they're men that used to be gay, and they were like totally flaming, and now they're like just straight men, and it's like you would have never thought they were gay in the first place. Oh, oh.
that's
Uh,
yeah, that's weird.
what do you think, Father?
So when I heard it the first time, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that one, Tank. That's pretty gay. You sucking dick, and you a dude. That's pretty gay. Now you can be like, yeah, but I just want to be curious. What do they call it? Bi curious or whatever,
Uh huh.
or like hetero flexible on that shit. I'm like, that
that's
those
a
are just
thing.
fancy terms for gay. Those are just fancy. Let's keep it a buck. Um, Now you can
Yeah,
experiment, sure, but like at the same time, if you know you're straight, there's no guessing it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm pretty sure with gay people, they didn't have to guess that they were gay. They're just gay. So yeah, you could be curious and shit like that, but you're gonna follow one line on the spectrum unless you're just straight up pansexual and shit. But then again, they're always saying is like very flexible, is very malleable, so like all things can be considered. But again, that kind of makes it, hard to discuss as well. Because if you're trying to figure out your sexuality, or, people that are still trying to figure out their sexuality and what they're attracted to, you find out that 1 minute they're this way, and then the next minute they're like, all right, so my pronouns is they and shit like that. So while all of that is fine and cool and dandy, and you should live your life the way you should, sometimes, when we're asking questions, that's why we ask questions, because the shit can be very confusing.
I agree with you there. Sometimes we're not like meant. Sometimes like there are times where I feel like a lot of people in the LGBT when we ask if they're gay or not, they feel like we're trying to attack them. And real talk, sometimes it's just nah. I just want to know. That way, I know for a fact that like just at least know to me, it's like I at least would like to know. That way, if I do have any questions or like if I don't understand things from the LGBT community, I is someone that I know that is gay. I can like ask them questions about it so I can learn from it. Like I don't come to make fun or try to poke fun of you. I'm just trying to like if there's something I'm confused about, and if I feel like you're knowledgeable in that area, I would at least like ask you a question for it.
Yeah.
Any last words on this before we move on to the next topic?
Tank, yeah. That was a little sus, bro. I'm not calling you gay, but I'm not calling you straight after that question. That's a little. I don't know, bro. You might be curious. I don't know. Maybe you got a different way of thinking, but yeah, bro.
man, it isn't being gay, being sexually attracted to men or people, someone of the same sex.
Yeah, it's like being attracted to
You
the same
know
sex, but
what I
at the
mean?
same time, ain't no straight dude gonna be curious about sucking dick. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're just curious. And if
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 you
that's the
felt,
case, then
if
you're
you
definitely not straight. You can be anything else. You're just not 100% straight, which is cool.
The desire to suck some dick, then he's obviously attracted to men, so he's gay.
And,
May not be his favorite
and
thing to do, but he's definitely attracted enough to
And also, I just think it's funny
guzzle
how
some
a
men.
lot of people on Twitter was trying to nigga explain their way out of it. Like, well, well, since sexuality is fluid, you know, you could be straight. You know, I'm like, nah, not this time.
nah, mm-mm. And I
Different.
think before we do go on, I think a lot of people try to excuse that with the whole fluidity thing. It's just like a lot. I feel like that's an excuse for you to like at least be gay, but not claim it. Like what I feel Malik Yoba is doing. Like it's obviously he's messing with transgendered women pre-op and post-op, but especially like the pre-op ones. It's like just say you bisexual and then just going with your life. But
Yeah, it's cool. Shit, I'm not judging
um,
you.
so did the Harriet Tubman movie come out yet, or
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
already out. It's
Yes,
already out.
I haven't seen it though.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've heard little reviews from it. I heard people was like it's kind of like a slave superhero movie, but I heard it's also like not as accurate as it should be. On Father, you was real big on this, so I was wondering like what did you think? Uh, I know you didn't see it, but it was like the whole boycott thing that was going around on it. You had a lot of things to say about it, especially someone like Harriet Tubman, her being like anti-black, right?
Yeah, the actress, was found saying anti-black stuff, anti-black American stuff, to be specific. And with me, if you anti-black, you anti-black on the whole scale. You can't just make fun of Black Americans. You can't make fun of Nigerians, like none of that. And so like when we found out that she was acting in this movie, like the thing that really disappointed about me was how she was trying to dodge around the question, and like people are just really concerned about the fact that you were saying certain shit, he was talking shit, and then you gonna just try and dance around it. And then you had Janelle Monáe trying to cape for her when she was the one that said that they needed to be voting blocks in the Popeyes when the sandwich was out. They need to be voting blocks in the little Popeyes places, and that's assuming that black people don't vote or whatever. So a lot of black folks got mad at that. It was kind of looking at Janelle Monáe's side eye. So in regards to the movie, number one, the narrative about it was just all wrong. I've been hearing that the main villain in the story is a black man who apparently is a bounty hunter, and it
What?
turns out that there's also some sort of white savior in there. Now, if we look at the real
Oh,
story of Harriet Tubman, ain't no white savior, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? She was just like, I'm gonna liberate my people, and anyone who gotta go, including the coons. If you a coon, you're gone, you're done. So the fact that all of that wasn't represented in the movie, you know what I mean, or at least in that narrative, was very disrespectful. And I see why a lot of people was like really shitting on the movie, and the reviews was like, "What the fuck is this movie trying to say?" Because Harriet Tubman is like a hero, like a national hero. She like the Underground Railroad and all that. When you read the real story, this woman is like a hero. But then you use this movie to kind of like bastardize her legacy and make it so that it's kind of like an insult in a way, because you're not even telling the true story, and then you're bastardizing it by having anti-black sentiments, like a black man who's against a black woman trying to liberate her people. Like, yeah, we know there were coons out there, but that wasn't the whole thing. The whole thing was that she liberated her people. That's the message. But that got lost in a coon and white savior.
mm. Doesn't sound like they did the movie justice.
Not at all.
I need to see what's going on with that shit.
I'm gonna see it for myself, but I don't think I'm paid for it. And I know a lot of people is like, oh, you should support this the way same way you support Black Panther, but there's a lot of things that go into it before we support the movie. And the fact that y'all didn't do this, first things first, a lot of people y'all like bash Nate Parker for something that he didn't do that he got acquitted for, and y'all done fucked it, and y'all done. And this was a black man putting his own money into it for. I feel those same people you should support this and support Black Panther was the same people that was getting on Nate Park for something he didn't do and didn't even support this shit. So they can miss me with that bullshit. I've been trying to look at a lot of people like um, reviewing the movie, and the first one I see is our boy Tariq Nasheed, and this was on Twitter. The fact that producers of the Harriet movie crowbarred in a black male villain character who did not exist in any historical record of Harriet Tubman's life, they made this black man the bad guy, and the white master had to save Harriet from shows content of our history. So, right. Another person like Cynthia Erivo has made some questionable, and this is offensive statements about Black Americans. We do not support because she's portraying Harriet Tubman on screen. Give us a movie worth seeing and worth spending our money on. So uh, from what I've seen, it's like, yeah, Father, you seems like you're right. I'm reading the same stuff. A lot of people saying it was going to be shit from the jump. Who is this black bounty hunter? And this is why, honestly, this is why we should make our own movies. We should not rely on the white man to make our movies. Thank God Tyler Perry got his studios, because I feel like if this was done in Tyler Perry studios, we wouldn't have this problem.
I don't know, except Harriet Tubman probably be having an affair or some shit.
Nah, I think he'll do it justice.
I know. I know that mean it's just funny.
It's a Tyler Perry. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It's a Tyler Perry joke. I said the same thing when um, years ago when they was talking about Tyler Perry wanting to direct a Static Shock movie, and I was like, somebody gonna get AIDS and somebody gonna die. And I said he's going Static Shock's gonna be a black woman with attitude starring Taraji Henson, but voiced by Phil Lamar or some shit like that. Like, I made these same jokes, but uh, from what it looks like, yeah, I think if honestly, well, other than you know getting a woman that was that's probably anti-black in a lot of people's eyes, I feel like they should also should have gone the route of. Now, this is just me. I'd have gone the route of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Like I know most people look at that movie, they look at that title, they know it's stupid. But I would have gone like I'd have made like Harriet Tubman real badass and like slay werewolves or some shit like that. Like like her like with the shotgun and like yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'd have definitely like done something very fictional, like have Harriet Tubman shoot werewolves or some shit like that, just to make it like while she's saving slaves. Like, think about it. Like, she gets to Canada, she freed all the slaves, and then now all of a sudden she got to fight these werewolves off to like so they can like live in peace. Like, it's a stupid concept, but at the same time, I tell people all the time, it's a stupid concept, but yet it works. And like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was stupid, but I enjoyed it. Like, have something we can enjoy. But the more historically accurate one, at least try to make it historically accurate. Let's not leave it in white people's
Right.
hands. We definitely have the platforms to do it. We shouldn't have let the white people doing this.
Right. Shouldn't even be allowed. Yeah, actually did believe that this is a situation where letting white people handle these type of movies shouldn't be allowed, especially since we got our own shit nowadays.
Exactly.
Well, if they do it,
Uh,
it has to be underneath heavy watch. But my biggest
say it
problem
again,
was
Clark.
I said, or if you do let one of these white or Jewish owned studios do it, it has to be on the watch. It has to be approved.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. And on staying on this topic, and now we're talking about superheroes and all that other stuff. You wanted to say something about Watchmen, am I correct?
Yeah, Watchmen. Yeah.
All right, would you mind tell us what you was going to say about it?
Well, the internet's been going on about how the new Watchmen show on HBO is now about this black cop fighting the Ku Klux Klan, and obviously the Watchmen fan base is not really for it, and it's even causing the show's views decline. Though, what do y'all think about the Watchmen changing their narrative to be about fighting the Klan?
I haven't seen the show yet, but from the
Mhm.
clips that I've seen, it looks really good. Like it's not just no random shit. It's like it has a narrative. It has like, you know what I'm saying? Well, what's the other word I'm looking for? It has like a narrative and a direction. And like it makes sense. Like everything about the clips that I've seen so far makes sense. And it just seems interesting to watch. So I'm gonna get on that like soon.
Like Wallace, I haven't seen it either, but just
Mhm.
like Father, it's very interesting to watch. And I did heard they was doing something in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's like one of the episodes of revolved around Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I did hear a lot of people like I don't know if they got flack about that but there was a lot of talk about it. Let's just say that because I don't want to call it controversy and all this, but there was a lot of talk about it, and I felt like if they was going that far, that right there is very interesting to watch because nobody really talks about what goes on in Tulsa, Oklahoma like that. So I feel like if it's going there, then where else can it go?
I feel like a lot of the fans of the Watchmen was like, "What? This is a weird transition to make from Watchmen, the original Watchmen series," and that's where the flack is coming from. Because there's some flack about it. There's a lot of buzz going on about it, and it's not being watched. But I don't really know how it transitions because, like I said, I haven't seen it, so it might transition from the Watchmen, the original Watchmen series, to this new thing smoothly. I just don't know because I haven't seen it yet. So
Okay, any last words on this before we move on?
Nah, just hey, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But the people who do gonna watch it.
yeah, that's the problem. Is the views is low though.
Hmm.
The views is low
Maybe
now.
it's just
People not
Yeah,
really
I
watching
got.
it.
marketing.
I probably gotta watch it live because, like, I feel like you gotta pay extra for Hulu, which is stupid now. Like, you gotta pay extra for Hulu to like watch it live and shit instead of just watching it when you like want to on your own time. And I don't know why Hulu is doing that for like some of their own shows, but that shit is stupid. Anyway, before we go any further, I do want to say, rest in peace, John Witherspoon. I not gonna lie to y'all, celebrity deaths don't hit me like that. Like when Michael Jackson died, like I was sad, but it didn't hit me hard. Like I know it hit Mark hard, but it really didn't hit me hard like that. Same thing with Prince. Like I was sad, but Prince didn't hit me hard. The hardest one that ever hit me before John Witherspoon was like Ali, and that's because like I grew up idolizing Ali. I read all his books, and I basically like anytime I play Fight Night, I'm always picking Ali. So like Ali is like a hero to me. He was like one of the few people I wanted to meet in person. but never got the chance. So, how did John Witherspoon death affect y'all, if it did at all?
Well,
John
you were the one that told me, Ray, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "You lying? That's not true. It can't be because this man got too much stuff going on. There's a new fighter movie, the new Boondocks. There's no way this man can die. At least not now. Like this is a joke. I refuse to believe it. Then I saw it on Twitter and I saw it everywhere else, and I was just like, oh fuck. I had to
really.
yeah, I had to take a minute because that shit hit me. And this is a man I literally grew up watching. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get you, sucker. All the Friday movies, of course, the Boondocks, Wayans Brothers, like just a lot of the popular '90s and like even the '80s and '90s like movies and shows that she was watching had John Witherspoon in it. And the fact that he passed away when he was still doing so much at 77 years old, he was still doing roles and all that kind of stuff. Like he was a multi-generational icon, as I like to say, because his voice. You know what I'm saying? He got quotables in like almost everything he's been in. You can quote something from him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure he made burritos really popular in the black community. And just ah, this shit hurt. It still hurt. It hurts.
Mm. Yeah, just like father. When I first heard about it, I couldn't believe it either. I was like, nah, that ain't true. That's one of those articles that's fake. 'Cause you know how they have like celebrity deaths that ain't really happen. Like people were saying Stan Lee died way before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I thought it was one of those situations. But then when I kept on seeing several different articles by several different credible news venues, and I was like, "Oh shit, no, this can't be real, no, man." And I was sad for me. I had to take a moment. I was sad because I was like, "Damn, this means." I hope they already recorded the new season of the Boondocks. Because I like the man had so much things go, like you said, Father. The man had so much things going on, and he was like, he's like one of those youthful souls. I ain't think he was going to die. Not anytime too soon, but hey, you just never know these things.
R.I.P. Granddad.
Hello,
You will be missed.
yeah,
Did wait? Did Ray?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Anybody else have anything to say before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I was like, he was like one of the old school comedians. He was came on the scene around the same time as Richard Pryor, George Carlin,
Oh
and
yeah,
Paul Mooney. Man, you got one of the great songs.
yeah. Hell yeah, and that's one was like son. Like I knew he had health problems here and there, but I didn't think like cause even then they said like he died all of a sudden. Like they don't even know how like he went out. Really, I think that's how they just found him or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. They still trying to find out the cause of death.
I hope they do. Did you about? I don't know. How much do you follow Kanye West?
Kanye West, not much. I did hear that he is trying to define a new way of being Christian, or has, or open a new church or something.
Well, he has this thing called Sunday service. He kind of went down here with it, and he was talking some of his rants, talking other stuff, and he. I know he got the album. I did a review on it. I'm trying to post a review. I probably will post it after I post this podcast. But he was in the news. He was talking about how black people have no culture. I'm paraphrasing what I was saying because he was like, the reason why we don't have no culture because we keep selling our culture is like the white man has our culture. Everything we do, the white man has bought from us and all that. Would you say you agree with them on that, or do you believe that black people do have a culture of our own?
I think we have culture. We have traditions and things that we do. That's like that came from us. Now, yeah, the people kind of like they kind of use it like, for example, rap. Other people do rap and all that stuff. It's like a worldwide thing now. Now you find Japanese rappers, Chinese rappers. It's all over the place now. But that's a part of excuse me. That's a part of our culture that came from us, along with other things too. So I don't really. I used to say that too, but now that I really think about it, I don't really. We don't have a culture. The question is there a culture that you personally will want to partake in?
Uh, this is what I usually tell people about what kind of.
Come again? Can you hear me, Ray?
Um, I think it's probably my connection. I don't know. It's really windy out and shit. But
All right,
I can
I'm
hear
back.
you.
I've returned.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're on Kanye West now, and basically him saying that blacks are culturalists. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear about that, Father?
Nah,
Okay. I'm trying to pull up what he said and fucking okay. Cause all right, I think I found it. And cause he was doing a little big boy interview, and his basically in his opinion, blacks do not drive culture. Is that we are in fact cultureless.
black people are
And
cultureless.
yeah, like this is, and I think I don't know, cause it's I'm looking for some of the quotes, cause he was like the white man have our when it comes to some stuff, the white man have our culture, and like we want to drive foreign and the clothes we wear, which they come from Europeans and all that other stuff. And uh, here's one of his quotes. Me being taken to my lowest, being called a coon by my own people. The guy that said George Bush doesn't care about black people is a coon because I didn't say I'm going to vote on Hillary Clinton. That actually made me more relatable. You can't imagine when I go through middle America, I was driving fast. I hit a red light, and the guy said, "Now, why you got to go so fast that you got to drive and cut me?" He was like, "What, Kanye? Oh, thank you for what you're doing for your country. Thank you so much. Like you have no idea." And here's another quote, and this is one of my main things. What is the culture? And like, it's like, man, it ain't this ain't for the culture. We're doing something for the culture. We're orphans, bro. Kanye West said of black people. We are culturalists. We don't have our own culture. We signed to culture vultures. We sign our life away. Our contracts are culture vultures. Think about everything that's cultural. Taking the knee is cultural. Being on social media is cultural. Wearing high fashion is cultural. Pushing it foreign is cultural. All these things are not owned by our culture. Who designed the culture? What does it mean to do it for the culture? That's why I do it for Christ. Now, most people don't know Kanye done found religion, so I think that's where he was trying to go with that. So, what you think,
I
Father?
think he been from religion.
All right, can I? All right, so that has got to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Straight up, that has got to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That black people ain't got no culture. What? Hip hop? What's that? That's not white people culture. You know what I'm saying? Most of the hell, nigga, most of the music in America was made by black folks. Blues, bluegrass, country, all the shit that white people don't enjoy now had a foundation in blackness. So what is he talking about? The very
He
foundation
said
of
we don't own it or something like that. We
we
don't
don't
own it.
own.
Like, yeah, that's what he said. That was his
Well,
reason for saying that. But he said we had those things, but he said that we don't own it, and I guess that makes a difference to him. I don't know what
well,
that
okay.
means about
So when
owning
we're
it, though.
talking about, I mean, I guess, but when we're talking about ownership, we're talking about something that's associated with you. Because if something is associated with you, then in essence, you kind of own it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm associated with Unity, or like I have a organization, and we do certain things, and my name or my face is associated with that. That's ownership in a way, because people associate me with that thing. If a whole bunch of people, everybody at this point knows that black people, we own hip hop. That's our shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
at the same time, the type of ownership I feel like he's talking about is like money and executives and people who market hip hop to like other races and shit like that. I feel like that's what he's mainly talking about. But to call that culturalist is idiotic, because it's gonna come back to us either way. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
look at most of the rappers that's out right now. I mean, most damn near all of them are black. I mean, of course, you got your Eminems, you got your what's his name? Lil Dicky, Lil Xan, all them little other white rappers and shit like that. But at the same time, hell, we can even take it a step further. If you go to like Latin countries, they got rappers. If you go to African countries, they got rappers. But you know, the word black in this context, I'm assuming he's talking about black Americans. And in that case, that's not true, because if you want to talk about ownership, black people, pretty much built this country when you want to talk about it. So in a way, that's why the whole reparations talk was so huge even today, because you just gonna sit there, you watch us build this whole country through your influence, and then not give us shit for it. Nah, like black people in America are like owed, shit, because they've done shit to build this country. This country's there's just as much as it is the pilgrims and the white people and shit like that. So if you want to talk about ownership and you want to talk about being culturalist, then you got to kind of look elsewhere. Because black people do have a culture. It's just that in certain areas it was taken away from us. But that didn't stop us though, because we still made more shit as we went on. So
Right.
I kind of find that idiotic that he said that. Even the whole religious thing he's talking about, black religion is, bro, like a lot of black people are on religion. As a matter of fact, you're gonna have people talking about we was the original Jews. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jesus was black. Like hell, there's a lot of examples of that.
Hebrew.
So what culture is he following? What culture is he following then? Okay, yeah, we wear shirts made by Europeans. Yeah, they do dances based on us. So who really got the
Right,
culture
they
here?
do.
Yeah.
Like
So
we, as far as the entertainment industry, as far as music and dance and all that stuff, we pretty much are the influence in that. There aren't really many white influence in today's world as far as music and dance is concerned.
I'm saying, bro.
There's
I,
one thing I like. At one point, I do understand what he was saying, because like we done said this about BET and a lot of black owned stuff we have. We have a lot of stuff that's black owned, and yet we sell it to the white man. I've always said BET got whacked when it went to Viacom, and like he bought it out for billions. That I do get, but at the same time, Kanye's kind of a hypocrite, because him being a trendsetter, he was the first one rocking polos when he was rocking him and Pharrell. I'm not blaming Pharrell, but Kanye was one of the first people rocking polos. When he started rocking polos, everybody was rocking polos and all that stuff. When he was doing the skinny jeans, that's when a lot of other people was following him with the skinny jeans. The whole Yeezy collection, although I'm not a fan of the Yeezy collection, a lot of people was buying his Yeezy stuff. And like with someone with I've always said this, I think Kanye knows the type of power that he has and that he doesn't need the white brands to go brand this shit. He can go and like do his own stuff and people will follow, which he's kind of doing with Yeezy. But at the same time, he um he had to go to Adidas for his stuff, or he was trying to get sponsored from Lauren. He was the one complaining about they're not accepting me because they black in the fashion universe, and that's another type of lane where they wasn't really letting rappers in and all that other stuff. So I think he knows his power, but sometimes I feel like he uses it wrong, and that's my deal with Kanye. Like stuff he says, but at the same time, and as much as I love Kanye, y'all know me. I'm a big Kanye fan. I think Jesus is King is not that good of an album, but I still love Kanye. Like niggas still love Kanye, but like there's a lot of stuff I look at and it's just I don't really pay attention to, and that's just me on Kanye.
Well, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, but yes, in my opinion, I looked at what he said differently from a lot of people and got a lot of flack on the side, and I kind of don't care because I read the entire article. I tried to find the video, found the video, and I was listening to what he was saying. And in my opinion, I don't, it doesn't seem like he's saying we have no culture, but he's talking about, I feel like he's talking about the phrase, do it for the culture. Because when you're taught, because if you know what that phrase is usually used on, usually when it's people talking about, oh yeah, I'm in France, and I got this Ferrari, I got these Cartier sunglasses on, yada yada, this brand new Louis Vuitton backpack, and I'm doing it for the culture. It's like at that point when you're using it like that, it's like, what are you talking about when you're doing it for the culture? What does that mean? Because do it for the culture has different meanings to it, but it's like for most people when they say doing it for the culture, what does that honestly mean? What culture? Because I'm trying to figure out what culture are people talking about when I see it on Instagram. The people that's our age group when they're using it, because it doesn't make. I've never understood that whole do it for the culture because it's more so urban kids that's saying it. It's not just suburban blacks or blacks that hang around white. It's usually more those that's urban in the hood that started using it, saying do it for the culture. And at that point it's like, what were y'all saying it for? Because if you're not sitting there wearing black brands and you're not sitting there talking about your family's background, or if you're not representing something that's for black people, it's like, what does doing it for the culture mean? Why? Because you were accepted in white space. I'm like, I've never kind of understood that whole thing, and I feel like a lot of people look too much into what Kanye said, because a lot of people have this thing today where every time Kanye West says something, he's viewed as being crazy or being a little loony, off his rocker. And I feel like sometimes people don't sit down to really reflect and hear him out. And just like the whole slave thing, when he talked about, how could you be a slave for so long and not do this and that? It's like I feel like some of us have those kind of conversations our damn selves with family and friends. It's like, but he's the face of the world right now, making that comment out loud, being recorded, and I feel like, I feel like people understand what he's saying. Like, damn, like it's 400 years, no one like it's how many slaves on that plantation, and it's two people in the house that's white, and no one decide to slit their throats and crack their head open and take over everything and get the slaves and the other thing. Like sometimes it's like, you joke around saying that, but it's like I feel like sometimes people just take what he says too serious when in fact a lot of us think just like that and won't dare to like ostracize each other because we have a slight different opinion on stuff, even though we kind of agree to it as well. Um, that's how I feel on that.
Uh, um, I can see where you're coming from. I don't know if I don't have a retort. Really, I do kind of see what you're coming from because usually when people say do it for the culture, it's usually they want something for free. Like usually when I hear people like, oh, when you open a black business and some people want a discount, and there's always that one black person that's for the discount and all that stuff, and you're like, nah, and they be like, all right, come on, man, do it for the culture, and I think that's my biggest pet peeve is like words that's supposed to mean one thing, and people flipping it and using it the wrong way, which makes the word bad. So,
Yeah, because
um,
I still don't know what the exact way it was supposed to be used. Because I've never really. I mean, of course, you see some people wearing like a shirt that's like a sweatshirt that's like a black person made it, and it's like some quote that's for us, and then like doing it for the culture. But other than that, most times it's other little stuff like showcasing materialistic stuff. And because the person is like dark skinned, rocking all this high end stuff and driving this European car, they're like doing it for the culture. And it's like what, like saying that you have money or something? Like I don't know.
I don't know. I know that's what I appreciate about this city, at least with DC. We did have we like, especially in the inner cities, we had our own clothing lines. We had the shooters, we had the Sabiato, even
Uh
though I
uh
think
uh 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 uh. I was
Sabiato's
waiting for you.
white.
I was waiting for you to say Sabiato. Sabiato's Italian. It's
Sabiato's
Italian.
white. I figured that. I
Italian.
always Italian.
It's not
Okay,
American white.
American white. All right, I'll leave Sabiato out of it. I was on the fence about that, but that's why I was
Shooter
like,
shooters. Now that might be black. I'm not sure though.
I don't know. I never seen no white person in the shooter store. I know Hobo is black. Not sure about VR1. I know North Face is white. I keep telling people North Face is white, and I don't know. We niggas was like robbing each other for North Face jackets.
I mean,
Not sure about Helly. Not sure about Helly Hansen either.
that's all white. There's none of those are black. That
No, no, no.
hiking skiing gear. There's they're white.
Which is weird to me. Why is hiking gear so popular in DC? Ain't no goddamn mountains nowhere. But niggas don't ever see mountains. Yeah, we got all this damn hiking gear. Any
You see, you didn't get my stuff.
any last words before we move on
Oh,
to the next
the
topic?
lights flickered. No.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Is that? I think Xavier, I did try to save the topic you was talking about. It's from whence you came in because obviously you wanted to speak on that. It was about the misogyny and homophobic shit that's going on in the blur community. And I'm paraphrasing, but am I right?
Yeah, but it's like somewhat, but it's not like as known because like I'm in some of the groups, and once like a lot of times some of the stuff are taken down, but like sometimes I catch little comments or sometimes I catch someone trying to be funny, and I'm just like, it's interesting in in this community where you know you guys create like somebody created. a thing, like, not that the word blurred was created by one person. Well, it was created by one person, but it's like it was created for many black people who were into cosplaying, in my opinion, that felt a ways when they go to certain spaces and they don't feel welcome, which I find very hard to really believe, because a lot of times, a lot of these spaces are very welcoming, but it's like I think some people just had, maybe a bad experience and they create their own, especially nowadays. But I feel like the new blurred, like, because it's very new. This blurred thing is very new, and I feel like those who are trying to be down with this whole blurred thing, they're not really they're not really here for the true nerd stuff. If you get what I'm trying to say. Like,
Mm.
in my opinion, they're just there because they like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, and they kind of like want to talk about it. And then it's like their way of just having their own space to like try to be, well, black people cannot be racist, but it's like I noticed some like jokes and stuff about like other race when they're doing stuff, and I'm like, okay, but isn't this the whole point of why y'all made your own thing? It's because
Yeah.
you didn't like when people was doing it. It's like why are we doing it? Because I just don't. I just feel like if you don't like it, then you shouldn't be doing it as well. I noticed like a lot on Twitter. A lot of the men kind of do this thing where like it's not, I don't want to say it's degrading the women because the women are doing it, but it's like I'm just noticing a lot of them always want to do these cosplays with girls, and the girls are always like half naked, and they're making up their own version of Akatsuki, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you're like, why do we always have to be out here doing the most in these spaces? I'm like, this is not the real Naruto, like Akatsuki thing going on. Like, if you're gonna do the cosplay, do the damn cosplay and show people like, oh yeah, black people can do it too. But it's like I'm just noticing it's very different from the black nerds that I knew from high school and middle school that are doing it now, and the commentary that's in some of these group chats, and like the images, and like I'm not seeing a lot of different type of cosplaying. Like everyone's doing the same, and it seems like no one knows anything other than the typical top four animes that's in here
Mainstream.
now. Because I haven't even seen in these groups anybody do Seven Deadly Sins, and I'm like, does anyone just only do Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and Naruto? Like, is there anything else? And then it's like it might be one My Hero, and it's kind of annoying. And then like I like when I was at Otakon, this dude, like, I wanted to take a picture with this guy, and like I wanted to take a picture with him, but he was just acting funny, and I can tell he's one of those guys that probably never been to a space like that before, and probably was never into anime and cosplaying like that growing up, obviously. And just the way he was acting, like he kind of was like he didn't want to take the picture with me. And I'm seeing him like, this is like, if you're gonna come into this kind of space, and like, I hate to like say it because I'm black, so I'm gonna say it out my mouth, like, just the way he was talking, I just knew he's just there because we're the time that we're in now. It's acceptable to do this kind of stuff, and he's not really like a true con person. And I'm just looking like, cons are made for everyone to be comfortable and for everyone to like be welcoming. And like anytime like some like cute girl tried to take a picture, like he was so like you could just see his reaction differently. And like some guys, he tried to act like he didn't really want to take pictures with guys, and I'm just like, why are you in this space if you're gonna act like that? Like, I don't know, but some of these groups I'm seeing on Twitter and on Facebook, they're kind of blowing my life, and they're kind of annoying me right now. And like I'm thinking about leaving some of them, and I'm tired of them talking about dating each other because it's annoying.
Huh?
I thought it was gonna be like anime talk and stuff, and like they're really just trying to fuck each other. I'm just like, all right, never mind. Think I'm leaving.
Xavier, let me ask you this question because and I don't know if I asked this question before, but it's the whole term gatekeeping. Do you feel like there should be gatekeepers or no? And if you do you feel like that the gatekeepers are gatekeeping the wrong thing or no?
To answer the first question, is like gatekeep to a certain extent. Like, I don't want people who just because you watch Dragon Ball Z and you're from the hood or you're from some trailer park and you think you're gonna come in there with your bullshit and try to make fun of people, or you see guys dressing as girls and you're like making comments or something like that. No, you need to get the fuck out. You don't need to be in this space. Okay? That's to that point, yes, you need to fucking gatekeep and be like, no, bitch, if you're coming to a motherfucking con, you need to understand there are men that will be up in here wearing heels and makeup. There's women dressed as men. There is all kind of stuff. People who don't really cosplay that well, but we still love it because they tried, and some that are amazing. And if you can't accept that, roll the fuck out. You ain't getting a refund. Sorry, but the whole thing of not being too knowledgeable of some certain things. That's why sometimes it's good to go to a con so you can get more knowledgeable on what you might be interested in because maybe you didn't have people around you to explore that with. And wait, say the second question again.
Do you think people be gatekeeping the wrong things? Because, like, for example, the women always say when they're into anime, and the guys always go, "Oh, you're into anime? Oh, so what happened?" And they over exaggerate when I say this. "Oh, you into anime? Oh, what happened in 2 minutes and 20 seconds of episode 330 of One Piece?"
Oh my god, yes.
Oh Lord.
Stuff like that annoys me,
From my
especially when
experience, they just don't really like you asking them questions about or what they've seen or they don't like questions really.
but I can understand
So
because
asking
like
asking
if you're a girl who's actually really pretty and you don't look like you would do anime, like you and y'all know what I mean. Like when people say, "Oh, you don't look like you watch anime," that kind of stuff is annoying because sometimes people will just put you on the spot and you can't even think because you're so annoyed by them saying, "Oh, if you're really into anime, name your top five now," and you're just like, "Okay, you're fucking annoying me right now." And then like you think about it and you like start naming stuff. They're like, "Oh wow, you really do know your stuff." Like, why is it because she's attractive, she shouldn't know anything? And why is it because these are females who don't look sloppy and have dry lips? Oh, you don't really watch anime because you don't look like that type. Like that's annoying to me. But some people do it to me too. They really like, oh, you watch it, you like that? Like today, I was wearing Tomb Raider T-shirt, and this dude was like, oh, that's the old school Tomb Raider. Like that's the PS1 days. Do you even know about that? I said, do you see my fucking T-shirt? I said, this is the PlayStation 2 Tomb Raider. Don't question me. He's like, no, bro, I'm just messing with you. No, I said, okay. I said, don't think because I have on these fabulous sunglasses on something like I don't know my shit. I'm just wearing it. I said, this is the old school Tomb Raider, not the new school. That's from the new PS4. Like, obviously, I know something. I said I wouldn't be wearing this. Well, I can't say I wouldn't be wearing the shirt for nothing, but I told him I wouldn't be wearing the shirt just to be a fucking hop on. But yeah, like stuff like that is really annoying when people do that. So that kind of gatekeeping is fucking annoying. Now I can see now if you're asking like if you're somewhere and you come to find out y'all like anime, you're like, oh really? You watch anime? Like you don't even seem like the type. What's your favorite? Like what do you like to watch? it's different, but you can tell when someone's asking you
Yep.
in a passive way or a condescending way. So like, yeah,
Gaslighting, I think it's called.
yes, yes.
I agree. I agree with I agree with you on everything because me as a because I always call myself a casual anime watcher. Like out of everybody in this group, I'm probably the most casual one. Yup, and I will admit that. Like Father has heard me many a times that like when they're talking about Naruto, I don't know shit. I tell people all the time, I really don't know shit about Naruto after Shippuden. Like I may joke about Neji, but I like that's because like it's what people told me about. Clarence, he done put me on many animes like Devilman and some of the Tatsunoko animes that. What's the one, Kesher? You had
That's
Kesher, right?
what
Gotcha, man, stuff like that.
Yeah, like he put me on Casher, Gotcha Man, Yada Man, like the actual live action Yada Man movie. He like Clarence put me on that. So I kind of like know my place. So I wouldn't like do that to other people, like especially because like like you said, it's annoying when someone goes, "Oh, you into anime? Oh, so what happened in this, and this, and this?" Like, who does that?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
especially
I
for
was
me because I don't rewatch it. I've never been the person to rewatch a whole show over and over and over.
same.
I watched Naruto Shippuden back when it was actually showing the brand new episode on TV, and you had to wait and wait and wait for every fucking episode. Okay, that was how long ago? I don't remember. I don't remember every damn episode like that. And then when you're like that, then people are like, "Oh, I bet you don't remember. I thought you was a fan." I'm like, "Don't do it." I said, "There's too many fucking
but
episodes of Shippuden for me to keep rewatching."
I
I don't know.
watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure the first three seasons. I watched it three times over because I watched it with different people, and I couldn't even tell you at what episode and scene each event happened on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a stupid question.
I was going to ask y'all the same thing, Clarence and Father. How do y'all feel about the whole gatekeeping thing? Because I think, Father, you also wanted to say something about blurs that was on your mind.
Bruh. Here's the thing I hate about blurs. This is the one thing. On one hand, they like to, since like the mainstream nerd community is, let's be honest, is full of white and like Asians who want to be white. And they be doing that little cringy little shit and whatever. I was like, okay, fine. This is not really our space or whatever. We're not getting represented well. They always got slick little jokes for black folks when they're in the room. We're gonna make our own shit. And then in those spaces, they like to pick and choose, what this represents and what that represents and who is this and who is that. And it's getting to the point where niggas can't even really ask questions anymore. Like I've seen so many
Yeah.
threads of blurs of black folks who are nerds saying shit like, man, yo, this is whack. You're not even doing it right because your skin too light or whatever. Just little dumb shit. And I'm like, what is the point of you saying that? What is the point of you taking one little thing that you don't like and making it this whole big thing? It did like it don't make no sense. And as like people are starting to get more, I guess, quote unquote, like hip to shit, or people are starting to like expand their horizons when it comes to certain shit. You got to understand that the culture gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Blurs is not just no little subgroup anymore. We're actually growing. So you're gonna have people that wasn't there, since the beginning, or you're gonna have people that's trying to get in it now because oh shit, back then I didn't think that it was so hot, but now I'm giving it a second chance. Oh, this is cool. So we gotta have space for those type of people. You know what I'm saying? And who cares what moment of what specific episode you watch, nigga? If you're a fan of the show, you're a fan of the show. If you like the artwork, fine. If you like the music, fine. If you just like the characters, fine. You do what you want when something is near and dear to you. So you can't tell somebody because they don't know what happened in episode 355, frame 15 of the damn episode that he ain't no real fan. You don't shut the fuck up with that dumb shit. I'm so tired of that. Um and you got these undesirables all up in the mix, making it hot for everybody because a person look good, a person put on some lotion, a person shower, a person got a good body or whatever. They think they too good to be a blurred, so they come up with that musty attitude, and they act like just because you look good, you ain't no real blurred, or you ain't no, you know what I'm saying, you a rapper on the side, but because you're a rapper, you can't be no blurred, you can't be no anime fan. You look too good. What kind of bullshit is that? Just because you want to stay musty don't mean a nigga ain't gotta stoop to your mustiness in order to claim blurredom or claim being a nerd. We're cleaning up out here. Folks is getting their haircuts. Women getting their hair on, their nails done. They're looking like the women that you see in the music videos, and they blurs too. Isn't that what you want? So y'all don't go up there and looking like undesirables with your goofy ass. You sitting there, you don't shower, you don't put on deodorant, you go to these cons trying to muck it up in the fucking convention center with your stank ass, and then you gonna get mad at the lady because she got her hair done and her nails done. She not wearing no wig and all her shit is natural, and then you gonna get mad because she can't tell you what episode you want to talk about. Shut your ass up. And it's just it's shit that I've been just noticing just passively, like as I'm looking at these spaces and how they're supposed to be inclusive, and I never even really got the inclusive shtick because ain't no group all inclusive. I don't care who you are. There is no group that says, "Oh no, we're all inclusive." No, the fuck you not. You may tolerate more shit than the other people, but that don't mean you all inclusive. There's no such thing as all inclusive. So stop that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can have certain races that can come. You can have people who identify with certain genders that can come. If you don't matter what sexuality, we all fans at the end of the day. Fine, cool, that's great. I co-sign that. But at the same time, we got a lot of undesirables, and they fuck it up for the rest of us. And I've said this many a times again, as I said in the gaming community, in the nerd community, we need a motherfucking purge. And then after that purge, we need to have a line that we cannot cross when it comes to certain shit. Because it's getting to a point where certain shit is gonna get out of hand, and then you just gonna have motherfuckers that's gonna be abusive because it's cool to be abusive, and then we can't have that. You know what I'm saying? If you a fan, cool. We can chill. We can talk about the show. We can discuss certain things. That's what we came here to do. We came here to discuss. We came here to share our love for a specific thing. But y'all fucking it up because y'all are undesirables.
Shining Wolf, you got anything to say?
Mm, no, not really. There's really just no real point in. There's really not too much of a point in gatekeeping because that's how people get into the culture and into these certain animes in the first place. It has to be like an entry level for them. So just because they kind of like let them if they want to pose, let them pose. Eventually they'll watch it or play it or whatever, read it and get into it. But it's kind of it's kind of annoying though when people go, oh yeah, I'm a big fan of this, and you start talking about whatever. You start talking about the character or whatever, and they just don't know nothing about it. They barely know nothing about it. Yeah, that is kind of annoying, but it's just whatever.
Well, because of us welcoming everyone, now we have fake meow wannabe Mr. Michael B. Jordan and his collaboration with Coach, and that collection really annoyed me because Coach, the clothes wasn't all that, but Coach, has very good quality clothing, and it is a little high end, but Coach made some items with certain logos from Naruto and crossbody bags and stuff, and it made it unavailable to those who are really true fans of the thing because the prices were ridiculous. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, well, who's really buying that? The people who just want to buy it and just show off, who don't know shit about Naruto. Because you can't tell me, like, most people who watch Naruto and stuff like that, yes, of course, and, wealthy people can watch it too, but for the stuff to be sold out and no, like, regular person was able to buy it, like, that's kind of annoying. Like, it was just more so people buying it because it was rare, it's a capsule collection, something to have. And it's not because they were dying and like, oh my god, I just love Naruto. They had a damn coat on there that was $2,500.
Mm.
No one who seriously is a fan of the show was or able to buy that, to be quite honest. And I just feel like, because of people like Michael B. Jordan that go into these, events and they like, they act like they're just the biggest fans, you're gonna get stuff like that I don't know, it just annoys me. Where you can like go somewhere else and get lower quality and it's like a mass production of it. But it's just like, and he didn't even pronounce the damn name correctly on the interview. Like, you're such a follower.
Uh, I do think we need to keep the noobs in their place though. Like when they start trying to make demands on how the genre should be, like with this new, like with these articles about how gaming is too hard and we need to have a game should and has to have like a pretty much a walkthrough mode or a cutscene mode and shit like that. Like you got these newbies complaining about the Dark Souls genre being too damn hard. I was like, well then don't play Dark Souls games then. Play something else. Play something that's more your speed, like The Last of Us. Not The Last of Us, but play something that's like one of those Telltale games. What's one of those Telltale games that people like? Life is
Walking
Strange or
Walking
something.
Dead.
Walking Dead or Life is Strange or something.
Well,
You don't have any when you don't have any gatekeeping at all. You get undesirables who try to dictate to the main fan base on what should be what and how it should be run.
Right. Because my thing is,
And
though,
that's
how
what
are you
these
complaining
things
about the game and the game been like this?
exactly. Like it's a game. It's not a goddamn movie. If you want to sit back and watch the game, go on YouTube.
Exactly. I'm like, but Dark Souls always been like this. Now
Exactly.
you're trying to be into gaming because you want to go on YouTube, and now it's too hard. Then sorry.
Play something more your speed.
Sorry.
I
And
just
then
think
you come,
people don't want to try.
yeah, you need to find out the people that play that game is because they over there trying to do extra shit that they're not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the games are made for you to think. Think.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Especially some of the older games. Some of the older games really, really made you think.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, like especially like them Legend of Zelda puzzles. Them things were difficult. Like the one I remember in Twilight Princess, it took me like an hour to figure out one puzzle. And then when I finally figured it out, I was satisfied, but also felt stupid that it took me that long.
I mean, but
But
mind you, we were so young doing that, and we
True.
did it.
you're right.
And you have grown adults right now complaining. Like, how old was I? Like, I was mad young playing Tomb Raider 2, beating levels. You're telling me you at 21, 22, you're just like, it's too hard. Change the dynamics of the game. No, sit back and figure it out and get mad. Throw your controller down like I did. Take a pause. Go take a nap and then play it again.
Right.
Now you know they're not
Sometimes
trying to
walk
back.
that's like it.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what stream I enjoy watching the most? Cuphead.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
Oh my god, watching grown men really like curse at that. Like I
No,
felt.
that game be having you ready to fight.
Oh no, I played the
that
game.
that
Trust me. Trust me, I played the game.
Okay, especially
Wallace
the
done
part
heard
when
me
you're in
curse
the
a couple
air.
times. That's Cuphead is bullshit. I tell anybody, Cuphead is. But watching other people play it though, yes, it is hilarious to watch though. I will admit that. I watch like Japanese people play it and they just like cursing in Japanese and it's the funniest shit ever. And I'm not gonna lie, Cuphead is one of those games. It don't look that hard until you play it,
No,
and it, and then you're like, oh shit.
like
Hand-eye coordination.
what's the scene of that like that half crescent moon, and like it's almost like a clock inside, and its head sticks out,
Oh
and you
my
have to keep
god.
shooting at it, and you had them damn UFOs flying around. Like I was ready to go. I'm like I'm sick of you.
Oh my god. I cursed. That was like one of the few times I cursed in front of my niece, and I didn't know she was there, and I just like cursed up the storm. I was like, and then I looked. She was like right there looking at me. I was like, I'm sorry, baby. I said,
Let me tell y'all something about getting angry real quick. Playing the old school Mario parties. I never wanted to fight a fictional character so bad in my life. Fucking Princess Peach used to get these hidden bro. One time, I shit you not. So I started the game, and within 2 turns, she got a hidden star. So I was like, oh, okay, here she go again. So then I restarted the game. I'm like, you're not just gonna get no shit off that. And it happened again. It happened 2 times in a row. She got a hidden star within 2 turns of the start of the game. I never went back to it to this day. I want to fight her.
oh, Mario Kart gets me all the time. The fact that I'm still playing a mobile game is surprising, but Double Dash, oh my fucking god. The the anger I done let loose in that game when you get, and it's happened to like people like Bum, like, but when you're in first place and then you get blue shelled, red shelled, green shelled, banana peeled, all at one, all at one, and then you fall off a cliff and then you end up in last place. It's the worst feeling in the world, and you just
Yes.
want to like punch. I look like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys in the Hood, just swinging in the air. Oh my god. I guess on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end the podcast, and we're gonna go with our final thoughts, and I'm gonna start with Xavier.
Um, I don't even have final thoughts. Just have a good night.
Shining Wolf.
Having noobs joining on your culture is good, but just don't let them dictate that much, because that's when they become a problem. That's all.
Okay, Father.
What is my final? Listen up, Call of Duty players. Let me tell you something real quick.
Oh Lord.
So when a nigga's playing the game, right, bruh, I'm just trying to play. I'm not no tournaments or nothing. A nigga press quick play, and I'm just trying to play a game. I don't like how I walk into a building and a nigga don't even see me through the corner of his eye, and I'm dead. Like, what the fuck kind of shit? Can I play? I have a gun. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what the game told me to do. There's a map. I'm running around. I'm shooting the people I see. But some of these motherfuckers acting like it's damn near like grand world finals. You saying that you over there proning, move it. Can I play? Or I'll shoot. Here's the thing I really hate. I'll see a motherfucker and I'll shoot first. The hits are registering. I'm seeing the game tell me you are hitting this motherfucker. He is getting shot. He is doing the good thing, and I still die. Who is programming this shit? I don't like that at all. I shot the motherfucker first. He should be dead. I don't care if it's video games or none of that. If
You
it's
sound like me with Apex.
bruh, it's so infuriating.
Lord, don't get me started, Xavier. Do not get me
Okay,
started.
listen.
Mm,
Listen,
bruh. That can we just make it so that if I shoot the motherfucker first, he dies? I'm tired of shooting the motherfucker first and I get killed because I ain't hit him in the damn neck. Bitch, you was right there. You over there doing all that little movement shit. I can't hit your ass, and then you looking at me like I suck because you want to fucking be Flash from fucking DC, running around all over the place. I can't get hit. I can't get hit. Key. Fuck you. I mean, making me playing that game so goddamn hard. A video game is not supposed to be that hard. Damn.
okay. First things first. Shout out to Bray Wyatt winning the Universal title. I was not expecting that, and as a Bray Wyatt fan, I'm super happy. Earl, I just read that Earl Sweatshirt's album is dropping tonight. I'm definitely about to peep that. Um,
Whose album?
Earl Sweatshirt.
Oh,
So I'm definitely about to peep that. Also, I know we say this all the time, like, and I'm gonna just leave it at this. We say this all the time. Men are not a fucking monolith, which I do agree with. But I hope in 2020, like, we get to a point where we could set some ground rules for us black people as a community. I was going to say black men, but like most black people in the community, that we could set some ground rules that it don't matter who you are or what orientation or what pronoun you pronounce yourself, that we have some ground rules that we could just look each other, we can check ourselves and go, hey, bro, that's not right. So, it's easy to say the golden rules, treat others how you want to be treated. But at the same time, a lot of people grew up different. So your idea of how someone should be treated is very different. So I would like, hopefully one day we can like establish some rules that it doesn't have to make us uniformic, but at the same time we could just be like, when we see it, we can spot it and we can like correct it. That way we can like make a better tomorrow. And that's really all I gotta say about that. I'd like to thank everybody that came on to the show today. I'd like to thank everybody listening, talk shit again. Until then, this is You Know What? Let me just say podcast, and we are out. Peace.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.